Welcome to Channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side, so once about all the updates and news, you'll be the first one getting all the insight. Now, obviously there has been a Anzac Day. Thought about the public holiday and didn't notice that they would be so busy in regards to a new, well, not a policy announcement, but it's a point test review discussion paper. Now, obviously, point test is relates to general skill migration, which is the largest chunk of skill migrants, and obviously a lot of viewers is interested about this one. So I would like to take this opportunity on this video just to go through a brief on how the discussion paper is actually talking about. Now, bear in mind, this is not a policy, it's not a law, unlike what they have announced a couple of days ago in regards to 485 visa criteria. So this is still under a discussion period of time where they allowed the public to provide submission. That means whatever that you think is good, you may submit to the government of Australia. Now, how effective that will be, I really doubt. I think the government of Australia or immigration or Home Affairs department already have things and criteria and the plan in their mind. So anyway, let's have a look. This is actually straight from the Department of Home Affairs website. As you can see on the announced on the 24th of April. Today is the 28th already. But anyway, so discussion paper review for point test, as you can see that they're following what the migration strategy, and that's the actual link to the discussion paper. So you may want to Google this and click in there to have a read about the real actual detail. But anyhow, let's just jump into straight to the actual review over the point test. So discussion paper April 2024. Now, this this document actually provides a lot of questions. Question on what? Question on how effective the current point test system is. Now, obviously, the answer is it's not effective, it's outdated, it's no good, we've got to change it. So that's not from the nutshell. But how are they going to change it? There's a little bit of discussion inside of this discussion paper. And from what I have read, I think it's just copy and paste from the migration review straight away to this discussion paper. So I'm not too sure how valuable this discussion paper is for the public, because it's basically a copy straight from the migration review strategy. But anyhow, let's have a look. If you are interested about what migration strategy plan is, you may want to review my video a couple months ago. You can find out, you can Google, you can search it straight from the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, and you can find that video. And you go back there, you may see it's actually the same. Anyway, okay, let's go in there. A lot of chunk of words, so obviously I will take a brief explanation of what it is. So basically it's talking about how bad the current system is, and they are looking to make it so bright so that meet the future criteria, by means they meet the 5 core objective. Well, I think this is all painting over, making it look pretty. So raising living standard, well, which government doesn't want to raising living standard? And ensuring fair go in the workplace, which government is not ensuring a fair go for the in the workplace? I mean, all the developed countries is all doing the same thing. Building strong Australian community, which government is not? This is all, well, I don't want to say BS, but which country is not doing this? Okay, strengthening international relationship, for sure, of course, we're in a global world. Making a system work, well, sure, you should really make the system work. Okay, now let's go into the detail. Again, a lot of words talking about the population and how the government of Australia is looking to improve it, whether or not they're going to improve it or not. So there's a paragraph I want to read here. It says, point tests are also competent to employment sponsor complement to employment sponsorship. So what does that mean? Now that basically follows how strategically I have proposed and advised to a lot of viewers and friends. You should really not just look into point test system. For example, in this year 2023 and 24, now you gotta be extra lucky, okay, to actually get an invitation from a skill migration EOI. By means, it's just very, very limited people actually get invited, and very, very slim number. It's almost like going into a lotto, so you don't even know who is gonna get picked. Now, so as because they have dropped dramatically the numbers of quota, so as for global talent as well. So many people meet the criteria, meet the threshold, but they're just not gonna get picked. So again, they wanted to complement. What that means is that please do not just use one way to migrate to Australia. If you have a job in Australia, make sure you can actually utilize employment sponsorship. That's basically what they're trying to say. Okay, migration will help Australia manage challenging aging population. Well, look, we are 2024. Which country is not having those issues too? Okay, now continue on. So fair go, blah blah blah, and now they're talking about the numbers. So obviously you can see that the skill independent planning level is 30,375, and the skill nominated, that's for the state, is 30,400 there. Skill regional 32,300. Now I'm not too sure what's the percentage of what's already being invited for these what they so-called the planning level, because what we have seen so far this year, not many, definitely not many. Okay, so you can access to numbers of occupation. It's within the occupation list. So again, from my previous video, they have been talking about from the Job Skill Australia. They're talking about to review on the skill occupation list. So there are numbers of occupation will be removed, and number is still gonna be reviewed. Now, so for example, chef, so I'm not too sure how this will actually left with. Okay, so the current system, now I'm not gonna go through with the current point test system because it's gonna be gone anyway, and it hasn't been effective for the past year because they're just very limited people get invited. So what they're gonna propose, from reading from here, I don't want to go through other pages because other pages are all questions and answers and a lot of questions. So I would like to stay with this page, which we are currently looking at the current system, and we talked about what's proposed to be changed. So age, they are gonna make it more like the Canadian style, where currently there's an age gap. And then obviously if you jump the age, you get extra point or you get points deducted. So they're gonna make it more precise, should I say. So for example, if you're over 31 and you drop 1 point rather than drop 5 points, remember currently the age points are given to about from 0 to 10. And then they every time you jump to the gap, they add 5 points and 5 points, or drop 5 points. So they're gonna make it more precise. By means, if you're for example, the age between 40 and 39, there will only be 1 point difference. Okay, so they are gonna make it more precise. That's how they're gonna do it. And for the experience, now I've chatted about this my YouTube channel and the videos in regards to this. So they are gonna make it fair for overseas work experiences compared to the Australian work experiences. Currently, the Australian work experience benefits more points than the overseas work experiences, which is a little bit of a discriminative. And so as Australian Computer Society, you see their criteria and their guidelines when they assess skill. I mean, if you study IT and you graduate and you work in Silicon Valley in USA, and somehow your points and your skill assessment is not gonna meet anyone who actually study in whatever the Australian university and work in Australia, which is not fair, isn't it? Especially in the tech sector, you should be able to allow more of these overseas skill migrant, the top talents to come to Australia, isn't it? But they're actually barring them from there. Anyway, that's what they're gonna do. Okay, education. I don't think they're gonna do too much about education, because obviously there's not much there. English proficiency. I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna combine this education and English proficiency, and then moving. In addition, how they treated the partner's skills in Canberra. Remember the Canberra matrix. If partner does have a skill assessment or a competent English, they add more points. So they want, if you want to come into Australia and you have a partner, great. And if your partner does have the skill, does speak English well, it adds more points. And that's exactly the same as what Migration Review, Strategy Review actually provided there. So as you can read that there. So I'm not too sure if they're gonna continue to have that Australian study to have that 5 point. Now there is argument that if they remove this, obviously no one wanted to come to Australia to study. Well, I thought they have already done that, because when they done it with all the new genuine student requirement and all the level down for all the institution, not too sure if they're gonna continue to have that Australian study 5 points. Not too sure. Okay, about the STEMs, the education, would they actually do something there? Not too sure. Professional year in Australia. Well, I think this is going into the grandfathering policy where they're gonna if you have already done a professional year from such and such a year onwards, you will still be awarded with that 5 points. But if after, for example, 1st July 2024, it's gone, no more professional year. Not too sure if they still gonna remain there. Regional studies should still be promoted. Not too much of a credential community, because it's just not working at all. Okay, so and the 15 point will still remains there, because that utilize the state government's quota as well. So if we scroll down to numbers of stuff that I wanted to show you, this graph is quite interesting, because they have identified numbers of occupations where they graduate from Australia. They actually work in a lower skill level of jobs. For example, accountants. Yeah, I know a lot of accountants. They graduate as an accountant, but they are not working as an accountant. But for example, an engineer, a civil engineer, if they graduate, they are more likely to work as a civil engineer rather than, for example, accountant probably work as a bookkeeper. Translator, not many translator graduated and work as translator as well. So is accountant general. I don't know why they put accountants and accountant general. What's the difference between those one? Not too sure. Financial investment advisor. Now compared to the graph on the right, for example, if you're a vet, okay, you are more likely to work as a vet. You're a dentist, you're more likely to work as a dentist. So all the healthcare people, when they graduate, they work as what they supposed to do. And so as for, I think it's highly related for the IT people and also engineers. But talking about these people from the left, it's actually not too good. So probably this will be removed from the occupation list. That's just probably. I'm not too sure how they're gonna do it. Okay, and this is the age points again. That's exactly the same as how they have drawn in the migration strategy review. So again, you can see they are more making the points for the age more precisely. So they drop 1 point when they hit certain age, not like the current system going like, you know, age 20 to 25 scores the same points, 25 to 30 scores the same points. So it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I think the improvement on that one is well, is gonna be there too. Now moving onwards, I don't think there's not much to talk about at this discussion paper. Is only 16 page with probably half of them you know, talking how good the government is gonna do the stuff in the current system, but they have left a link in here and also back here where you can actually click on it and then provide your how you think about Australia's skill migration point test will be. But I think will be, you can do it, but usually will be a waste of time, because I think the governments already have their plan, and which is going to come out very soon. Anyway, should you have more question or query, more than welcome to leave comment right down below, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.